and you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that because part of it.
Former President Obama was scolding African American men.
Makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
Black men not voting for Kamala Harris has nothing to do with misogyny. It has everything to do with her policies.
And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that.
His speech criticized black men unfairly. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Travis, and welcome to the IPH Theory. Also, I am one half of the Cultural Discussions. Please like, follow, and subscribe to both entertainment channels on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, today's video or lesson is regarding former President Obama. And President Obama has been in the news recently as of this week because a few days ago, I want to say maybe middle of last week, a few days ago. I know you all don't know the date and the time that I saw it. But former President Obama was scolding African American men. And he was telling many of us that not voting for Kamala is not acceptable. Let us check out this clip.
And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable. That's not, this shouldn't even be a question.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I have nothing but respect for former President Obama. Yes, he was the first African American president. Okay, that's a beautiful thing. But I do disagree with what he said. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not a big fan of Trump. I'm not a big fan of Vice President Kamala Harris. I am very independent. And don't get me wrong, I agree with some things that Trump says, and I disagree with some things that he says. And he says that Trump has a history of denigrating black men. Technically, would Obama be denigrating black men during his statement or his speech? We all know that the word denigrate means to criticized unfairly. And I feel that his speech criticized black men unfairly. For instance, he's talking to black men. He didn't put a name on it. He did not put an age on it. So if you're able to vote from age 18, you're talking to men from age 18 and up, all the way up until the men that are older than Mr. former President Obama. And I feel like that's wrong. You know, trying to shame African American men to vote based off of identity politics is not the way. I feel like he's basically saying, hey, we're going to disregard you guys' intellect. We are going to disregard you all's intelligence. You all can't comprehend the policies. So I'm your leader and you all should follow me, or follow the women in your community that are voting for Miss Vice President Kamala Harris to be the next president of the United States. I feel like that's wrong. We should not vote based off of identity politics. That is not the way to go. Now, I'm pretty sure people of all ethnicities have voted based off of identity politics, but the average person is actually looking at the policies. And I have some notes here. Once again, shaming African American men to vote based off identity politics is wrong. Black men are very intelligent and have their own reasons for not wanting to vote for Kamala Harris. Whatever reasons those are, that's just what the reasons are. They are grown men. They can vote for whoever they want to vote for. You can't bully and denigrate and scold men, especially black men, into doing what you want us to do. And for all men of all races, all ethnicities, men were soldiers. Yes, we're very civilized. You need to watch the way you talk to us. And I have nothing but respect for former President Obama, but you are disrespecting many of your own soldiers. President Obama says that he hasn't seen the turnout that he used to see whenever he was running for president. First of all, that was he got in office in 2008, 2009, and he left in 2016, and Donald Trump took over, and then Biden took over, and now there's a race between Vice President Harris and former President Trump. But Obama says that he feels that many black men aren't turning out for Kamala because she's a woman. I don't feel like men have misogynistic ways just because a woman is running for president. Now, many men don't want to be led by a gynocracy. What is a gynocracy? A gynocracy is a female-led government. Many men are looking at her policies and they just simply disagree with it. They're not misogynistic. They don't have hatred or contempt for women. We don't feel like women are beneath us. We are not discriminating against women. Hey, former President Obama, are you being a misandrist right now? Now, I know you don't have a hatred for black men, because why would you hate what you are whenever you look in the mirror? But do you have contempt for us? Do you feel like you are above us and that's why you need to scold us and denigrate us and criticize us and bully us into voting for who you want us to vote for? Because that's what you're basically telling us, your emotions. You want us to vote for who you want us to vote for, but it doesn't work like that. Every man is his own leader. Now, we will separate right from wrong. We are seekers of knowledge, wisdom, and truth. Let's go back to my notes. Black men not voting for Kamala Harris has nothing to do with misogyny. It has everything to do with her policies. And don't get me wrong, whenever you cast a vote, you're really casting a wish. And if you're not voting based off of her policies, you're really wishing for what personality that you like. Some people sit well with Trump. Some people like Vice President Kamala Harris. I don't care who you vote for. All I know is nobody should be bullied into voting. And let's be honest, not voting is not against, it's not illegal to not vote. You know, when people don't vote, that is a political stance. You know, have you ever walked inside a store and you came for a specific item, but the store did not have what you wanted and you walked out? That's how I look at not voting. I don't like the Trump store. I don't like the Kamala store. I might vote for my couch. You know, this black couch right here. I might sit on that during voting day. I've only voted one time in my life. And ladies and gentlemen, I am working on voting locally. I'm not the biggest presidential election guy. I feel like the presidential election, it just comes with a different type of energy. You start to see people in a different way. That's why they say don't talk about religion, don't talk about politics. There's another one that they don't want people to talk about. And these days and times is probably gender. Are you a man? Are you a woman? But, you know, we'll stay on topic. I'm not here to bring my comedic genius, as brilliant as I am, because this is a serious conversation coming to you from the IPH theory. But yes, former President Obama, you just denigrated black men. You criticized us unfairly. I'm not calling you a misandrist. I know you don't have hatred for black men, but do you have contempt for us just because we're not running all around the United States praising Vice President Kamala Harris and wanting her to be our president? Are some men misogynistic? Yes. Some men don't want to see a female president. I just want a good leader in office. And I know some idiots are going to say, well, Travis, if you don't vote, you don't have a say so. Who's going to shut me up? We live in a country that grants us the rights to have freedom of speech. So freedom of speech doesn't go for the people who vote. They also go to the people who don't vote. And I know I'm going to lose some people on that. But hey, if you see me in the streets, let's just have a civil, respectful conversation or dialogue. Everything revolves around communication. But if black men aren't voting for Kamala, that is their choice. And they have every right to make that choice. We don't need former President Obama to scold us and to criticize us. But anyway, I could really stay on this topic for 30 to 45 minutes, but I know many of you all don't have time. Many of you all don't have kids. You have one job, but for some reason, you just don't have time to listen to anything. And maybe I'm not interesting to you, and that's fine. But I'm an interesting man. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Travis. I just wanted to give you all my opinion on what former President Obama said to black men a few days ago. It's been a hot topic in the news, and I've been wanting to speak on it, but I don't hop right on certain topics just because everybody's talking about them. I'm a man and I move when I want to. I speak when I want to. And I say what I want as long as I'm respectful. I will not disrespect you just as long as you don't disrespect me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the IPH Theory. Please like, follow, and subscribe if you feel like it. And if you learn something here or if you agree with me, let's chop it up in the comment section. I want all the smoke. If you agree with me, tell me. If you disagree with me, tell me. And I will reply to every comment like I always do. I don't duck any action. And to the individuals that might see this video and say, hey, what does duck action mean? I don't duck no problems. Let's have a civil, respectful dialogue. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. Much love and respect to you and your loved ones. I'm Trav.